Assalamualaikum and hi, this is steam turbine cycle part 5. In this video, I'm going to explain the subtopic number 6, which is the ideal reheat Rankine cycle. The ideal reheat Rankine cycle. The ideal reheat Rankine cycle. So increasing the thermal efficiency. Okay, we already discussed in the previous subtopic where we have three methods to increase the thermal efficiency of the Rankine cycle. So the first method is increasing the constant pressure heat addition process, where we increase the constant pressure, and the second method is decreasing the constant pressure heat rejection process, and the third one is increasing the temperature of the inlet of the turbine. So this is the third method, which is we increase the inlet temperature of the turbine. However, we have a major drawback here where higher temperature is metallurgically unsafe level, where as already explained in the previous slide, that the maximum temperature that the turbine blade can handle is the 620 degrees Celsius. And this is the second method, which we increase the average constant pressure heat addition process from process 2 to 3, the a bit lower pressure to even higher pressure of state 2 prime to 3 prime. And however, we have a major drawback for this method where the moisture content will be increased, so it will damage the turbine blade. So by combining these two methods, we can get the ideal reheat Rankine cycle. And in the ideal reheat Rankine cycle, we expand the steam in two stages turbine plus reheat in between the two turbine. So this is the simplified diagram of the ideal reheat Rankine cycle. And the reheat stages, we increase the stages, so the process is also thermal process, and the maximum stage is 2 reheat stages. More than that is not practical. And as you can see, this is the TS diagram at the center, bottom center of your slide. And from this TS diagram, as you can see, the red line, we have a number of reheating process and a number of turbine. However, it is not practical because the theoretical improvement in efficiency from the secondary heat is about half of that which result from a single reheat. If turbine inlet pressure is not high enough, double reheat will result in superheated exhaust, so which is undesirable or is not good for the overall of the system. And this is the TS diagram of the ideal reheat Rankine cycle. So as you can see here, we have process 1. Okay, I use different color here. So process 1, which is from, as you can see on the simple diagram on your right hand side, where the process before the pump, and this is the isentropic process of the pump. From 1 to 2 is the isentropic process of the isentropic compression process by the pump, and then process 2 to 3 is constant pressure heat addition process. We have a Q in here, and state 3 is the inlet temperature and pressure of the high pressure turbine, HPT. And we have worked out here, and the outlet of the high pressure turbine is state 4, and in this state 4 the air will be reheat by the boiler. Here we have a Q in here, and it goes back into state 5. And normally we set the temperature at state 5 is almost equal to the state 3, at the same temperature of state 3, and the pressure of state 5 and state 4 is equal, and it is also equal to the reheat pressure, as you can see here. And from state 5 it goes into the low pressure turbine and generate work out, and the output of it is state 6, which are close to the saturated vapor liquid line, where we already eliminate this problem where the moisture content is high. So in this the ideal reheat Rankine cycle, the moisture content is extremely low. And from the process 6 goes into the condenser, and the output of it is state 1 with the Q out. Constant pressure heat rejection process is the process 6 to 1. And the analysis of this process is the work turbine out is equal to work turbine 1 plus work turbine 2, which is the work turbine of the high pressure turbine, plus work by the low pressure turbine. and it also equal to H3 minus H4 plus H5 minus H6. And Q in is equal to Q primary plus Q reheat, which is equal to H3 minus H2 plus H5 minus H4. And this is the ideal reheat Rankine cycle and the analysis of it. Okay, so this is one example of the ideal reheat Rankine cycle. Okay, I will read the question first. Consider a steam reheat Rankine cycle. Steam enter the high pressure turbine at 50 MPa and 600 degrees Celsius and is condensed in the condenser at a pressure of 10 kPa. If the moisture content of the steam at the exit of the low pressure turbine is not exceed 10.4%, determine the pressure at which the steam should be reheated and the thermal efficiency of the cycle. Assume the steam is reheated to the inlet temperature of the high pressure turbine. So as you can see here, we have a few information here. So high pressure turbine, P at state 3 is 50 megapascal and temperature maximum, the highest temperature is 600 degrees Celsius. And in the condenser where the constant pressure heat rejection process, the pressure is 10 kPa. And it in this question also, it already give the X value, which is 10.4%. And another information that is given is assume the steam is reheat to the inlet temperature of the high pressure turbine, meaning that the second inlet temperature or the low pressure turbine, the temperature of the inlet temperature of the low pressure turbine is 600 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now we look into the solution of the question. So this is the ideal reheat Rankine cycle, simple diagram of it. And from the equation or from the question, we know some of the information, which is we know that the condenser is at 10 kPa and the pump is at 15 megapascal and constant pressure heat rejection process of 15 megapascal. And we know the temperature at state 3 is 600 degrees Celsius due to the constant heat addition process. And then the output of it is state 4. And we know that state 4, state 6, state 4 and state 5 is equal to pressure of the reheat. And the output of the temperature at the inlet of a low pressure turbine is 600 degrees Celsius. And now we look into the TS diagram. We can put the information here. First, we draw the ideal heat Rankine cycle, TS diagram of the ideal heat Rankine cycle. And we know we have the reheating process. And we know also at state 3 and state 5, we have the temperature is 600 degrees Celsius. And we know that process 2 to 3 at 50 megapascal and process 6 to 1 is 10 kPa. And the moisture content is X equal to 0.896, which is 1 minus X is equal to 10.4%. So what we don't know here is P4, and which is equal to P5, and we don't know we need to know the thermal efficiency. So the question asks these two questions. So let's look how we answer the question. Okay, determine the pressure at which the steam should be reheated. Okay, first we list down all the information given in the question, and this is all the information given in the question. And from state 6 condition, which is the pressure at 10 kPa, and the quality is of the S6 is equal to 0.896, we know that this system is in the saturated mixture. So from this equation and from the saturated water pressure table, we can calculate the value of entropy at state 6 and also enthalpy at the state 6. And from these two information, we can know the state 5. Since the entropy of state 6 is equal to the entropy at state 5, and we know that state 5 is in the saturated superheated region, which is the phase of state 5 is the superheated vapor. So we look into the superheated water table from at the 600 degrees Celsius and also at the entropy. So we look into the 600 degrees Celsius here, and we look for the value of entropy 7.3701. So from this case, the entropy of the first 2.5 megapascal is 7.5, which is larger than 7.3, and entropy at 3 megapascal is 7.5, also larger than 7.3, and it keep on decreasing with the increasing of the pressure. So the closest one is this value. So we know that the pressure of state 5 is in between 4 megapascal and 3.5 megapascal. So from this process, okay, from this information, we need to do the interpolation in between these two pressure to get the value of the pressure, the actual pressure of the state 5. So from the interpolation, we know that the pressure at state 5 is equal to 3.99 megapascal, and it close to 4 megapascal. So we assume that it is 4 megapascal, and state 4 pressure at state 4 is also 4 megapascal, and it also equal to the pressure of the reheat process. So from this information, we can calculate the H5. Okay, now we look into the question B, which is determine the thermal efficiency of the cycle. So from the data given of the question, we list down all the data given from the question, and we list down also the value that we calculated in the previous question, which is the question A. And we know the thermal efficiency. We write down the thermal efficiency equation, which is equal to work net divided by Q in, equal to 1 minus Q out divided by Q in. And we know the Q in is equal to H3 minus H2 plus H5 minus H4. And the Q out is equal to H6 minus H1. And from state 1, we know some information of the state 1, which is at the pressure of 10 kilopascal. And we also know that it is exactly on the saturated liquid line. As you can see in the TS diagram here, the state 1 is exactly at the saturated liquid line. So now we can straight away go to the saturated water table from the pressure table. So we can extract the information of 10 kPa, volume at the fluid, and also H at the saturated liquid line. So we can just write down the information, and now we goes into the state 2, which is the isentropic process. We know that pressure at state 2 is equal to 50 megapascal, as you can see in this TS diagram here. So this line from 2 to 3 at the constant pressure, which is at the 15 megapascal. And we know that entropy at state 2 is equal to entropy at state 1. And we know that state 2 is in the compressed liquid state. And from the analysis equation of work pumped in is equal to V1 times P2 minus P1, and it's also equal to H2 minus H1, and it is equal to 15.14 kilojoule per kg. How we calculate this? We already know this V. This is the V1 here, and we know that P2 is 15 megapascal, and we know that P1 is 10 kPa. So from this value, we know that we can calculate the work pumped in, and we also know that H1 is equal to 191.83. So from this equation, work pumped in is equal to 15.40 kilojoule per kg, and H2 is equal to 206.97 kilojoule per kg. Okay, we continue with the solution with the data given and the one with that we already calculated, and we goes into the state 3. The pressure at state 3 is equal to 50 megapascal, and we know that temperature at state 3 is equal to 600 degrees Celsius. And we also know that this state 3 is in the superheated region. But however, we need to check first where T3 should be larger than temperature saturated at 50 megapascal. So from the saturated water pressure table, we see that temperature is larger than saturated temperature at 50 megapascal, where the temperature at the saturated at 50 megapascal is 342.24 degrees Celsius, whereas the temperature at state 3 is 600 degrees Celsius. So it is in the superheated phase, superheated vapor phase. So we goes into the superheated water table. Now we look into the temperature of 600 degrees Celsius, and 50 megapascal, pressure at 50 megapascal. And we can calculate, we can extract the information of H3 and S3 from this table. And moving on, we write all the information, and now it goes into the straight 3 to 4, where we know that P is equal to 4 megapascal, which we already calculated from equation A, question A, not equation. So we know S4 is equal to S3, and it is equal to 6.676 kilojoule per kg, which dot Kelvin, which we calculated from the previous slide. And from this equation, we should identify whether the state 4 is in the superheated region or in the saturated mixture region. So from the entropy value, we look into the saturated water pressure table, and we look into the 4 megapascal, which is at the pressure, and we goes into the entropy value, which is the 6.6776, which is more than this value, so it is in the superheated vapor region. As you can see, this value here is smaller compared to this value, so state 4 is in the superheated vapor region. So we goes into the superheated vapor table, superheated water table, at the pressure of 4 megapascal and entropy of 6.6, which is in between of the temperature of 350 and 400 degrees Celsius here. So we need to do the interpolation to calculate the value of H and also S. So from the value H4, we can calculate the Q in, since we already have enough information to calculate Q in, and Q in is equal to 3895.35 kilojoule per kg. And we also have enough information to calculate the Q out, which is equal to H6 minus H1, and it is equal to 2144.04 kilojoule per kg. And from this information, we can calculate the thermal efficiency, which is from this equation, 1 minus Q out divided by Q in. So the thermal efficiency of this system is 45 degrees Celsius or 0.45. So this is all the calculation of the ideal reheat Rankine cycle. First, you need to understand this TS diagram. You need to know that state 1 is exactly at the saturated liquid line, and state 6 is close to the saturated vapor line, and you need to know the quality of the mixture, and you need to know the pressure, operating pressure, constant pressure process here, these two process, the heat addition process and heat rejection process. And you should know that process 1 to 2 is isentropic, process 3 to 4 is isentropic, and also process 5 to 6 also is an isentropic process. This is the end of part 5 for chapter 4. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and thank you for your attention.